Now, the Brussels attack is likely to be high on the agenda when African defense ministers meet this Thursday. Representatives from across the Sahel and Sahara regions are gathering in Egypt's tourist resort, Sharm El Sheikh. Egypt's president is also expected to attend. Well, let's get you more on those talks now. CCTV's Yasser Hakim is standing by for us from Sharm El Sheikh. Yasser, of course, the security meeting comes in the wake of the devastating attacks in Belgium, which have gained global attention. But what kind of challenges are being posed by extremists operating in the Sahel and Sahara region?
Yes, what's happened in Belgium and before in France proves that terrorism has no borders, and Africa is suffering from terrorism just as much, even not more. And this has been discussed or is being discussed right now in the closed meetings here in Sharm El Sheikh between the defense ministers of 27 African countries and 5 European countries as well, attending as observers. They're discussing how to work together to try to coordinate, share information, intelligence and support in order to try to diminish the terrorism in the region. We've got ISIL, we've got Akim, we've got Boko Haram wreaking havoc in these countries and trying to spill over the borders from Libya, from other countries as well, into neighboring states. And this is the issue. Funding, it's trying to stop the funding, trying to stop militant infiltration, trying to stop arms smuggling as well. And those are issues that the ministers here are trying to work on to try to coordinate their efforts in efforts also to try to map out a strategy to crack down on terrorists in the region and the whole continent as well.
And of course, Yasser, there are quite a lot of expectations then regarding what may come out of this meeting of African defense ministers. But how best can Africa position itself in terms of being part of the solution in the global fight against terror?
I think one thing I believe, if it comes out of this conference, could be as much as a positive step, and that is to it's an Egypt proposal, and that is to have a permanent office in Egypt to crack down on terrorism, an office that is related to the 27 countries. This office will include the mechanisms to work together on a daily basis to try to share logistical information, try to share intelligence information, to share training, to share also the military capabilities of each country and expertise of each country on a daily basis, and form a united front, a military army, a military force that works with the AU force and with the UN to attack militants in all these countries, to have its own mechanism to help crack down on terrorism in the region. And this will in turn stop terrorists from spilling over from the borders to other countries, to other regions as well. So if we try to solve the situation ourselves with our own capabilities, with our own forces, this will help rather than wait for international coalition, for international forces coming from foreign powers to enter into the continent and try to crack down on terrorism and at the same time interfere in the internal affairs of African states. So what comes out of here should be a mechanism to solve the problem ourselves rather than wait for the international organizations and foreign powers to intervene in the continent to solve our problems.
Well, it certainly seems that regional cooperation will be at the center of Africa's response to global terrorism. Thank you so much for that update. Yasser Hakim live for us in Sharm El Sheikh in Egypt.